Good morning and welcome to day 4 of our sleep reset. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. I am holding a tray with 3 cups on it because my tip of the day today is on reducing caffeine. Thank you so much for your questions, and thanks Antonia for your question about coffee. It's a really good question. Like you, I love coffee. I'm a real coffee lover. And I came to realize a few years back when I was suffering with menopausal symptoms that one of the biggest hormone disruptors is coffee. So it was a no-brainer for me. It just had to go. If you're there now, or if you've been in that phase of perimenopause and struggling with those symptoms, you'll know that you do whatever you have to do. And so I'm going to share with you what I did. You don't have to do what I did, but I'm hoping that maybe this will give you a little bit of inspiration, and you can think about how you might use this technique in other areas of your life as well. The first thing that I did was switch to decaf. It took me a while to find a decaf that doesn't completely taste like cardboard, if I'm honest. But I did. It's possible. They are out there. So that's the first thing that I recommend you do. It's an easy step. When you're looking to change your behavior, always pick the lowest hanging fruit. Do the easiest thing that you can possibly do. And the easiest thing was for me to switch to decaf. So I did that. And then I started to reduce the mug size. As I said, I used to drink from the big mug, and then I was given this lovely mug as a gift. And so I started drinking from this mug, and that got me thinking, well, hang on a minute, that's a good idea. So eventually I started drinking from a smaller cup. I'm just going to put these down before there's an accident. So that's how I did it. It probably took me about 6 months, and I reached the point where eventually, when my symptoms had started to improve, I made a lot of lifestyle changes, and so many of my symptoms started to go away or improve, and I suddenly found that I could handle maybe a coffee a day or a coffee every couple of days. I think when you do a lot of work on yourself, you do become very self-aware, and I reached the point, and maybe you've reached that point too, where you can actually, your body just tells you, you can actually just smell the coffee and know, yeah, today I'm going to get away with that, or no, today I'm not going to get away with that. So I've reached that stage now, and yeah, I can get away with a coffee here and there. It does not disturb my sleep, and it does not disturb my hormones. But if you are here, obviously you're here because your sleep is disturbed. Do you remember on day 1 when we filled out our reflection exercise, and in the left-hand column we wrote down all of the things that make sleep worse, and in the right-hand column we wrote down all of the things that make sleep better. Well, in the left-hand column you wrote down coffee or caffeinated drinks. So it's up to you. You came here because you want change, and as I've said before, you're going to have to make change to get that change. And this is one of the changes that you're going to have to make. So I hope that my experience gives you a few ideas on things that you might be able to do in order to reduce your caffeine. You could also use that technique to reduce alcohol. I'll talk about alcohol in the next few days. So that was my tip for today on reducing caffeine, if that's relevant to you. And before I finish, I wanted to recap and just let you know how important the things that I've been sharing with you over the last 3 days are. Think of it like a sandwich. The things that I've been sharing with you over the last 3 days are like the bread in a sandwich. They're absolutely not negotiable. No bread, no sandwich. So having a bedtime that allows you 7.5 to 8 hours sleep every night, and going to bed at the same time every night, with the odd exception, weekends, holidays, parties, things like that. But going to bed at the same time every night, waking up at the same time every day, these things are non-negotiable if you want to sleep better. Our bodies are engineered towards routine. We need routine, we like it, we crave it, we don't do well without it. We know that our bodies are synchronized to what's happening outside, whether it's dark outside or whether it's light outside. So it's really important. And as I said, if you want your sleep to improve, these things are non-negotiable. You go to bed at roughly the same time every night. You wake up at roughly the same time every morning. If you can shift to these two things, you're already halfway there. Just one thing about having a lie-in, I wanted to share with you another little story from a lady that I worked with in the last round of my program. And she was already there with the sleep. She was going to bed early and she was having dinner, a light dinner early, and she was waking up early in the week because she worked in a place where she had to get to work early. So that was okay. She kind of got that down. But then on the weekend, she would have a lie-in. And what she noticed was that on the weekend, she didn't feel very energetic. She felt quite tired and lethargic. She didn't really feel like doing anything. And she thought that that was because she'd had a busy week and that this was just her body resting. But what she started to do on the weekend was wake up at the same time as in the week, but get up and take her time, make herself a hot drink, sit in the garden, maybe go for a walk, go out for an early breakfast with her husband, but she'd get out of bed, she wouldn't lie in. And she noticed herself feeling completely different. She was feeling so much better, more energetic at the weekend. She wanted to do more fun things at the weekend because she just felt more alive and more awake. And she was amazed. She'd never realized that it was just the fact that she was lying in that was making her feel even more tired. And if you think about what happens when you travel, when you go somewhere, if you fly somewhere and you get jet lag, it's because your body has gone out of its routine. It's become unsynchronized from the day and night cycles where you live. And you know how that feels. You feel heavy and you feel foggy. So this is exactly what happens if you lie in. So I really encourage you to still wake up at the same time, get out of bed at the same time every day, give or take 10-15 minutes, and just do something. So there you go. There is a quick recap of what we've been talking about so far. Please keep your questions and your comments coming. And for the next 3 days, I'm going to share some of the nice stuff. We've covered the really important need to know, non-negotiable stuff. And so I'm going to share some of the nice to know stuff over the next 3 days. So I really look forward to seeing you and see you back here tomorrow.